What's the what's the most disgusting thing you've...
I don't want to talk about that on camera.
Most of us feel like we're doing a good thing when we donate our clothes to charity, but what if I told you a large chunk of that was ending up in landfill?
If this shop wasn't here, I don't know where these 15 pairs of jeans would be going. You know, because someone's not wearing them, so they've got to go somewhere. Because it's so cheap and affordable, people just can. It doesn't matter if they don't like it. If they don't like it, they just chuck it out. We've got to figure out what needs to be done with it.
What percentage do you reckon of donations are like just shitty fast fashion that you can't resell?
Probably 50–60%.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Yeah, I see a lot of Anko and heaps more Shein at the moment. We look at that and be like, what the hell? But some people don't even think, oh God, that's all gonna go to landfill.
For most op shops, they can't sell anything that has a stain in it, is ripped, or is an ultra fast fashion brand. And this normally ends up in the bin.
There's a stat that we buy on average, Aussies buy 55 new garments every year.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just shows how much people are spending and not really thinking about what they're buying, you know, buying new fashion, fast fashion.
We throw away 220,000 tonnes of clothing into Australian landfill each year.
Sometimes I look around at the shop and I just think, wow, if this shop wasn't here, this would just be a giant hole in the ground and all the stuff would be in the ground because it's all just secondhand stuff that people are done with.
And it's being reported across a number of op shops, including places like Vinnie's, that they're receiving more fast fashion donations than ever before.
I've come to a Vinnie's distribution centre in Sydney to find out just how much we're throwing away.
Something like that, I feel like that could probably just come off with the wash, but because we don't have the facilities to wash everything that we get, unfortunately that's going to go into recycling, where if somebody did wash their bag of donations before dropping it off to us, that could have been saved. This is the sorting station, so everything that comes from our donations comes here, and what we can sell goes onto the tubs over there.
So there's basically three categories: either bin, can't sell, and maybe to be recycled, and then can sell.
Yes.
What's the most disgusting thing you've...
I don't want to talk about that on camera. If you want to take that off camera. Okay. We've seen dirty nappies in our donations.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people just
We've seen actual rubbish put into our donation bins, which is sad. It compromises the quality of everything else that's in there in the donation bin if it's like leaked onto something else.
A report from RMIT found that Australia exports 33% of its donated clothing to countries like UAE, Malaysia, Pakistan and Ghana. And sure, some of this is resold in these countries, but a lot of it is ending up in their landfill.
Fast fashion isn't meant to last, so it's just a few wears and they sort of start looking very worn out.
The rise of ultra-fast fashion in Australia in the last 3-4 years with Temu, Shein, but before that, even with Zara, with H&M, with Uniqlo, all of these brands coming in the last 15 years, they're swamping the market.
Last year, Shein Australia made about $1.2 billion in sales, about a 30% jump from the year before. But experts say that in general, Gen Z are far more conscious of their clothing habits.
This increase in awareness of sustainability, ethical production, the impacts of the fashion industry in terms of production practices, in terms of labour rights.
Click of your finger, you don't even have to go leave your couch, probably be on the toilet and be like shopping for so many things. But then also it's the whole influencers and they make you feel like you absolutely must have this, and then 2 days later it's something else.
Young shoppers' TikTok feeds are flooded with get ready with me videos and hauls showing creators trying on stacks and stacks of new clothing. And these trends change quickly.
They're not wanting to be left out, they're wanting to keep up with their friends, they're wanting to be trendy and feel included in their social circles.
More thought needs to be put into the process. Things are getting a little bit too cheap online.
Donating your clothes makes a massive difference, but the real solution starts way earlier with what we choose to buy in the first place.